Welcome back then to another video on ultimate farming. It's been a little while actually, it's probably been a good year or so, but I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update at the moment at what I'm doing. So I've been working for a dairy farm, autumn block calving, roughly milking about 300, but the herd will be going up to 350 after our fresh calvers have calved, obviously. So you'll be aiming for that sort of number. But I've been here just about a year now, so I've done a whole season. It's amazing actually that this is my first video, to be honest, but either way, yeah, there you go. But I'm just at the minute stood in one of our Kale Interval crops, or better known as forage rape. So a lot of you are probably quite familiar with the fact that a hell of a lot of farmers are growing kale and doing like an outwintering sort of scheme from anywhere between sort of November, sort of December time. Yeah, that's normally when the crop's sort of well enough to at least put some cattle on it, and then you know, trying to finish up by sort of end of March, April, sort of beginning of April, just before the plant starts to flower. Obviously it doesn't always work like that, but you know, we try to make it work like that, so the animals are then turn on to grass come the sort of 1st of April, or you know, that sort of thing. The minute you start getting any more than that, you get a lot of problems with trying to put the electric fence across. You know, it cutting the electric out of the wire and all that sort of thing. But anyway, this was put in, it's about the 20th of August, 22nd of August I'd say, and we're now here on the 10th, so that's about 18 days. So it probably emerged sort of 11 or 12 days, at 11 or 12 days, sorry, yeah, about a week ago then. But yeah, as we just you can see it just starting to pop its head up now, and you know, that's been tightly rolled in, and you know, there is still a fair amount of moisture in that ground. We've got supposedly a fairly dry week ahead of us with no rain, which is fine really, because you know, we were a little bit late, I have to be honest, probably getting this kale in. But anyway, yeah, so far it's so good. It's emerged, which is a good start, and the rain came at, you know, the right time. Obviously everyone's aware we've had an incredibly dry summer, and we didn't really have any rain over here in Dorset probably until like serious rain, like I say, probably until after we got this in. So we got it in right at the right time, and a few days after it was, well, since then really, especially the last sort of 10 days, you've had some really solid rain and quite a few storms. So like I say, a dry week ahead isn't really going to matter. You see it, yeah, it's quite a dark sort of brown colour there. You can actually feel the moisture on the soil. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of dust when I rolled this in. You know, so yeah, so the schedule we did was, this was originally grass. We ploughed it up, we cultivated it, just the ins and outs, because the bloke decided to plough it with a press. I then drilled it with the iron box seeder, you know, basically like spring harrows with a seed box on it. Yeah, there's a load of pipes, and you know, it's a fan driven system, and it throws the seed onto the ground, and then the tines will come along and scatter it. That's basically how the system works there. And as you can see, it does work, and you know, we've got some fairly well distributed seeds. You know, everywhere I look, there is just that bit of green coming through, which is good. And like I say, the ground, you know, the rain has come at the right time. I'm still out here, and it's probably rained for the last 7 days or so, but you know, we got it rolled in, made a tight seed bed so the seed couldn't be washed away or anything, and I tell you what, it looks pretty amazing so far, and hopefully it turns out to be a good crop this year. We don't want any more dry periods. you know, at the same time, let's hope, you know, let's not hope for a, let's hope for not a really, really wet autumn, but just enough to get the grass growing enough. But, you know, that is an update as to what I'm doing. And yeah, everywhere I walk, I am seeing seeds, which is good. We did have a problem where the drill wasn't calibrated right, so this side of the field there's going to be a hell of a lot more seeds, I'd imagine, than this side. But that shouldn't be the end of the world. It's not like fodder beet where you need a set amount of spacing between each row. It's all there. It is all there. Like I say, it seems to me that I'm probably walking into the patch now where it was calibrated correctly, which I believe is 6 kilos a hectare. I believe that is what it is for this interval crop. We did used to grow turnips. It was obviously more of a beet-like plant, but yeah, that is the deal with it basically. So there we are.